Hello, midlifers. It's Maria Allen, your midlife fulfillment coach, and I wanted to bring you some midlife moxie. And I'm hoping that this will just help to strengthen that midlife moxie muscle, because the more you practice infusing yourself with self-care and knowledge that really supports you, it's going to get easier and easier to speak your truth and to go for your passions and your purpose. So I wanted to talk a little bit about fear and the power of fear. And by the time we hit midlife, we have heard for decades, ever since we're little girls, about the aging woman and how she gets to a point where she's over the hill and God can barely get out of bed in the morning because she's aged to a point that she's past her prime, and all of these things that circulate in our minds for decades. And it's no wonder when we hit midlife that we really experience fear when it comes to stepping out and trying different things. I mean, you go and apply for a job and hello, and in the back of your mind, you're thinking, I'm too old for this. I'm over the hill. Who's going to hire me? And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy where you don't get hired because the energy that you're sending out during the interview is one of not being hired. And so it's set out into the world. So it takes a lot of work, midlifers, to come to understand that the thoughts that we have been thinking all of these years don't have to be true just because we've been thinking them. We're not over the hill. My God, we've got a lot more time to go. We have a lot of energy to experience passion and pleasure. And God knows we have the life experience, we have the wisdom, we have the life lessons so we can avoid a lot of the potholes that we weren't able to avoid in our younger years. But we've learned it's time. It's time to get in the game. And also another thing about fear, it just keeps you from moving forward. And we all know, and something I say all the time, is that the baby action steps that you take today determine your future. You start it today, and eventually you'll start seeing the energy that you put into those action steps come into play. You'll start seeing things that are forming, that are happening because of the little baby steps that you've taken to move in the direction of your dreams. So get rid of those labels that have been put on us, through the media, through well-intentioned loved ones, through even possible women in our family that we've seen hit midlife and who have, assumed a different role of becoming the cat lady or, whatever we imagine them to be growing up. And whatever we heard about them growing up, a lot of times it simply is just not true. And it doesn't have to be true if you refuse to accept it. Midlife is a time to get in the game, not to bow down and tell yourself that you can't be in the game because you're to this or to that. It's not true. So when you feel any sort of fear, question it. Is there validity to it? I mean, does it make sense? Is it your fear? Is it something that's been passed down to you? Question your fear. And that's when you can start taking away its power so that you can move forward in the direction that you want to go as a midlife woman. And quite frankly, after so many decades of serving everybody else, it's time for us to serve ourselves. And we shouldn't let fear get in the way. We got to do it. Break it down, dismantle its power, and move forward. You're worth it, midlifers, and there's a big world out there for you. So, as usual, I tell you that if you need any help along this journey, and I am committed to helping midlife women move forward, get unstuck, stop living that hamster wheel default life, because we're not meant to live like that. I want you to schedule a 45-minute session with me. It's in the pinned post in our group, and we'll talk. And we'll see if we can move you forward, and we'll see what's going on with you. And I want you to have the best because you deserve it. And you can if you believe that you can. And look fear right in the eye and don't let it win because there's good stuff waiting for you. So midlifers, have a wonderful week. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.